have changed in so many ways at once. Has the day begun? I lived one life. Has the day ended? I had begun anew, reborn with a new life, a new mission, reborn with a new vision. What may come, I don't know yet, but I am here alive, living my life to the fullest, with new love in my heart and soul, a gift to have, a gift to give, a new life of love, reborn.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. How are you all today? It is, sorry, I've got to shift and get myself comfy. My old bones, they're flexing a little bit, but not like they used to. Today is Thursday, September 18th. I know I say this every single time, but I just can't believe how quickly the month is flying by, the year is flying by. I appreciate you all being here so very much. For those of you on the replay, thank you so much. Please put a comment in. Just say hi. Let me know that you're here, where you're from. That would be really great to know. And like and subscribe. It helps the algorithm. And I'm really trying to get the word out that this is a good conversation starter on Tuesdays and Thursdays on topics that may or may not be talked about out there in the YouTube world. But it's just my perspective. It's what I have to offer. Karen Suki with bells on. Oh, I got something for you, sister. Echo. I love this tune. I love this little sound. It brings me joy. No worries if your internet's giving you a hard time. That's all right. Excuse me, I've got allergies, and so do my dogs. Poor thing, they have Apoquil. Can you believe I have to buy them Apoquil for their dog allergies? For Jiminy Cricket, I think they're spraying crap in the air. I know it's a conspiracy, but I really believe that. So I know, Echo. It's my little tune. I have this triangle I have to break out again. I do that when I do meditations, and it's been a while since I've done a meditation. I only have one show next week. Next Thursday, I have company coming, so I'm going to be otherwise engaged. And I'm really excited about that. So let me just sort of sum up where we were the last couple of episodes where we talked about finding your voice and standing in your truth. That's okay, Karen. Oh, I love you for being here anyway. I love Echo for being here. I love anyone in the background for being here. I just really appreciate it. So whatever you can do is welcome. So we talk about standing in our truth, right? And what does that really mean? And on Tuesday, it got rather engaged. We had great conversations about, here I am talking about standing in our truths, and I was expressing how afraid I am to speak in this current climate. And that is a scary thing So today I just want to, I'm using, and I did put a link in my description. Mona Kirsten, she has a PhD. She is a certified holistic coach. She calls herself a serial entrepreneur, dedicated to helping ambitious women redefine their success on their terms. Oh, thank you. I haven't colored my hair, so I'm debating if I go gray or if I color it. Not next week, but the week after. I'll be meeting with my hairdresser, and we'll have a conversation to see what do I do. So, but for her, what she was talking about is that speaking your truth, it goes beyond voicing our opinions, right? It's about expressing our beliefs and our values that are uniquely ours. So, what's mine doesn't have to be true for you, but it also means that yours is still true. So, Echo could believe the sky is blue. Karen could believe that it's green, and I could believe it's gray. It's still the sky. It's our perspective. It's where we're standing. It's how the sun's reflecting. Does that make it true or not true? So I think that, showing up as our authentic selves is our truth. If anybody follows Echo, Kaleidoscope of Happiness, one of the things I love about Echo's channel is that it's not one thing. It's multiple things to engage multiple people with different ideas, different points of views. You may not like one subject, but like another. You may sit in the background because often I'm just listening to people because I'm processing tomatoes. I made a beautiful tomato sauce with my tomatoes from my garden. I made a fabulous meatloaf. I made this Asian chicken with some veggies from my garden. I got this new cabbage. I'm making things with the eggplants. I'm listening. I don't always chime in. I adore you, Echo. I mean, I really do. I love what what you do. And I don't go to everything because not everything's for me. But there are many things that are. So, we tap into what resonates. But that's your voice. That's your truth. That's your empowering space and time. And I think really there are several people that the channels that I've been watching and listening to that do the same thing. Meaning they're evolving all the times. They're challenging thoughts and ideas. Jimena on Magic of Healing, I watch her channel fairly regularly. I don't do it every day. It's too much for me. I don't even want to watch TV every day. You know what I mean? I have stuff I have to accomplish. And I'm hoping to share some of that news in the next couple of weeks because being on a fixed income, being, having some issues with my heart, having some, I literally thought yesterday I was going to end up in the ER last night. Things are just not, I'm well, and I'm fine. Prayers are always welcome though. But there was stress and there was fear. I need to move. I've got to get my groove on. I have to keep doing things. If I'm just sedentary all day long, this is addicting. Watching YouTube's addicting. Finding new and different channels is addicting. Connecting with people, it's wonderful, but it can be addicting. And I really, really need to get physical more. So we'll see what happens as time goes on. And I'm going to be starting a fast because my body needs a jump start. And I'm going to do it very thoughtfully and kindly and methodically to jumpstart my metabolism. and then introduce other foods. And I'm also doing some self hypnosis because I have a sugar, I hate to say the word addiction, but I do like sugar. And we're coming into fall, and it is really easy for me to get. I mean, I made banana bread today. I love making apple, um, not pies, but like cobblers and all sorts of different things with apples and putting it in my meals and my dinners. And that's all sweet and that's healthy stuff if you're getting organic and you know where your apples are coming from. And so, anyway, but I have that proclivity for sweetness. And there's a apple orchard that I go to, and they make, sweet Mary in heaven, the best apple dumplings you've ever had. And trust me, I've tried quite a few locally anyway in New England. So it's really, I need to move and I need to stand in my truth. Um, and, um, but I also want to support my friends that I've just, I've been making over the last well, no, it's a year. I think it's a year. And that's that I got into this particular YouTube world. Yeah, I know, Karen. I think we have that in common. We've talked about that before. The butterscotch candies I also like. Ooh, ice cream bars, cereal for dinner. So, I had cereal last night because I was so tired. It'd been a very stressful day and ended up just having cereal and then was ravenous, late in the evening. So, why does speaking your truth matter? And you can put your thoughts in the chat, but I think and this is coming from this article, one of the things that she says, I'm going to quote her: when you speak your truth, you're doing more than just sharing words. You're stepping into a deeper sense of self respect and authenticity. Living in alignment with your true self can be transformative, freeing up energy spent keeping a facade and making space for real connection. Staying true to yourself helps cut through confusion. It brings a sense of clarity to your relationships, work, and personal goals, creating a safe space within yourself where other expectations can't easily sway. And a couple of conversations ago, I had talked about, when we're young, we're born into a family, however you define family, and they are the adults that influence the way you think, the way you respond, the way you obey, how you formulate opinions. And so as time goes on and you start to experience the world, and I don't care if you're 5, you're 10 years old, you're 15 years old, you're 20, you're 25, you're 50, you're 62, I have some really smart friends and I listen to them, and then sometimes their opinions become mine because I'm like, well, they're smarter than me on certain topics. I'm not denigrating myself here. But they have an influence or an understanding or a comprehension of a topic that I don't. And I'm like, yeah, that feels good to me what they're saying. So that's how I believe. Now, I don't do that as much anymore because one of the things that I've learned through my energy healing and practice and reading and praying is that my words, I have to do the research. If I don't understand a topic or I don't know a person or a political point of view or social point of view or religious point of view, it's incumbent upon me to do the research on the topic rather than being influenced by someone else. Isn't that kind of what cult behavior is? Regardless if it's influenced socially, religiously, politically, economically, right? If we don't do the due diligence, Are we really standing in our truth or someone else's truth? And sometimes standing in our truth, my truth, could get me. I am good at research. I really work hard at it, Karen, because when I was younger, being a know it all, and truthfully, I didn't know diddly squat, but I carried myself very confidently. I knew what I was talking about, but I didn't. And sometimes it hurt people, but it also misrepresented me and who I really was. And as I morphed and became really a seasoned adult, I'm like, yeah, it just was a show because I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to be included. And I've been a loner my whole life. I've had friends, but not until my college years did I really have, and really after college, we all stayed connected. There is a handful of us. There's about 5 or 6 of us that have stayed connected or interconnected. One friend brought a couple of other friends that became my friends or acquaintances. And then I had some really terrific jobs where some of those people really became confidants. But you can almost, and I've been journaling a little bit more, digging deep into my own stuff. And one of the things that I noticed was my need to just be accepted and loved for who I am. But I didn't know who the hell I was. And, so you get ostracized sometimes for your beliefs. And as I started to learn more about Reiki, and I was ostracized or criticized, and it sort of conflicted with faith. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't conflict with my faith because I believe what I believe. Reiki is about energy. It's about healing, and it's really about self-healing. And it gets sort of contorted into other people's identities to sort of, it's not about your own ego, and people make it about their egos. Well, I can lay hands and make someone feel, yeah, it's not really you that's doing the healing. It's the energy within your body. You're just allowing yourself to receive the healing. And doing hypnosis, which for me, hypnosis is about supporting who and what I want to do. So food. By repeating the phrase 10 or 20 times before I go to sleep and when I wake up in the morning, every day in every way, I am getting better and better at monitoring the healthy foods I eat. Or changing the last part of that sentence. So the beginning part of that sentence is every day in every way, I am getting better and better. You could stop there. What I want to do is say the next sentence. So if I were a smoker, not smoking every day, not smoking at all. It would be eating healthy foods, enjoying my vegetables. I'm not a big vegetable person, but I'm learning, especially fresh vegetables. And I've been researching recipes and trying. And because of my food status, I went to the food pantry this week. It's a drive-through here at our local park, and they gave you bags of vegetables. In there was a Japanese squash. Never had one, don't know anything about it. Looked up some recipes. It's on my agenda for tomorrow. So but that's supporting my goal, my health goal. And look, we don't know when our number is up. I don't. Last night I thought, oh crap, don't let this be it. I'm not ready now. And certain things aren't done and in order. And I don't want to leave my life in chaos for my family, for my friends. I want things to be organized. So it was sort of a kick in the pants to get that done. But back to the power of speaking up. It's not just about letting steam. It's not, standing on a podium and spewing your opinion so that people will follow you. It's every time you speak, you build your own self-respect, your own courage, your own mental clarity. It's really transforming you. And as a result of you living your truth, you may influence someone to make some positive changes, in my opinion. Yeah, Karen, I think that being alone or a loner or isolated for me is about self-protection. And I talked about this in therapy this week. Not reaching out to other people, not allowing people in. I'm protecting myself from being hurt again. I don't think I can take another heartache or heartbreak. And that is also, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Because if that's the case, but I really do want to connect with people, you have to put yourself out there in order to connect with people. You have to let them see your light, your personality, your ability to connect. I when I had to sell my house after my heart attack, I am using this lemon custard cream by Philosophy. I must tell you, it smells heavenly, and I love it so much. And it's calming for me. It relaxes me. It reduces my anxiety. Um, I lost my train of thought though. What was I saying? Um, Shoot. Oh, it'll come back to me. Karen says, mine was always more shyness, insecurity, and I have always enjoyed being alone, frankly. Well, I do like being alone, but there are times where I like to share things. But my heart has been broken by people I loved. And it's hard when they don't love you back. And sometimes people just aren't your jam, and that's okay too. But I took it personally that they weren't my jam. What's wrong with me? Why am I not good enough? It was always about punishing myself. It was always about the self-reflection in a negative way. What's wrong with me? And that was supported by other people in my life that were either parental or somehow had some kind of authority that I respected. So I think that we, as women specifically, I can't speak for men because I'm not a man. So I don't know how men feel. But as women, we also have been or allowed ourselves to be put in certain boxes. Maybe we were put there as young women and we stayed there even though we didn't feel like we belonged there. Oh, I was saying when I had to sell my house. Thank you, love. So when I had to sell my house, my hope was when I moved into this current apartment that I would have a knitting circle with some of my friends. They'd come and we'd do knitting. Couldn't get anybody to do that. I wanted to have a card game, once a week, once a month, whatever, or game night. That went over like a lead balloon. And it's no reflection on this is what I wanted to do. There weren't people that were interested in doing that. And then, somebody said, well, you got to find people that are interested. Well, I didn't want to just invite strangers to my home. I wanted to bring people in, and I don't want to just sit around and drink and eat. That to me is not enjoyable. I wanted to do something. And I think, and there's nothing wrong with just sitting around and drinking and eating, but, if I'm trying to be healthy, then that doesn't, I know I have so many fun games, and you can eat and you can drink. We would have a little cocktail hour. I don't really drink alcohol, but we'd have a mini cocktail hour and snack time. I would always do that. But I love the idea. This you see personalities come out. There's this game that I play with my family. It's a vicious like marble game. It's kind of like Sorry, I guess. I'm not really familiar with Sorry, but oh, I'm so glad you're back. I thought maybe I scared you off, Echo. um, yeah, so it's like sitting around that table, we would like the object is to eliminate your opponent. We would get vicious, but in fun. And if we got out of hand, I have been better at saying, whoa, 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 that's getting too personal. Like, don't call me a name because you're losing. Um, and those are, and that's just the person I was playing with would be, yeah, sorry, because we get so heated and we do want to win. I think the last time I played the game, I must have lost like 6 times in a row. I was like, I can't believe this, because I used to have this touch with the dice and the marbles and moving them around the board. And, but, sort of getting back to the point, in my own home, that's how I wanted to reach out and build a community. And that wasn't as successful. So when I came here, I thought, well, having these conversations would be great, but mostly it's just me talking on screen. So one of the things that Misha has talked about is doing Google Meets so that we can see each other and have conversations. And I don't always want them to be heavy topics because we want to have it. We do want it to be like girlfriend night or people night, whoever's going to be there. Back when I was married, we played a lot of games. My husband was fun. Spoons is a viciously competitive game. Oh, I'm going to have to look into what that is. Oh, all right. Okay. All right. I'll look up spoons. I'm going to look it up. As a matter of fact, let me just go to spoons game just so I can remember. All right. I'm leaving it there. I'll look at it after the show. But that's how I envisioned building a community when I had to sell my house. And that didn't work out. And as time goes on, you're in a Zoom group that we do calls and I enjoy it. So Echo, what kind of calls? And do you mind if I bring you on live with me right now just to talk about it for a second? And you don't have to. I just I have to figure out how to do it, but healing through song. John says we have so much fun in the Google Meet chats. Oh, we'll see. So I don't know about those Google Meet chats. And so anyway, so it's an idea, and maybe I'll just have to figure out how to jump in moving forward. But for me, that was how I wanted to connect, because our voice is so stunted, and it's heart-wrenching when you just can't find a place that you think you could fit in. And I miss. Oh, that's okay, Echo. We'll do it another time. Absolutely. I respect that. So let me just get back to this author, Mona. She also said that speaking up can feel like taking a leap. That she has seen how people can be transformative, and start small to build confidence. And it's that imposter syndrome. I know that I'm good at certain things, and yet I feel like I'm not good enough and don't belong. So but that's a personal thing, right? No one told me that. No one said, "Oh, you suck." Um, and it's, um, it can be energizing is not the word I was looking for. Um, well, it can be life changing as you build little steps with your voice and practicing honesty. I got to tell you, being honest is not easy. Now, what do I mean by that? Oh, Teresa, your hair. Oh my God, it's gray. So, yes, that's honest, right? Someone's oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit the computer. Um, Someone's being honest. They're not crazy about the fact that I have gray hair. Another way of saying that, right, is, oh my goodness, look, you're going gray. How do you like it? How do you like it? Because if I say I like it, I didn't ask you your opinion. You can say, well, good for you. Um, it doesn't mean that, I mean, if I'm looking for an opinion and I say, hey, Karen, what do you think about my gray hair? Is it too soon for me to go gray? I'm asking you. You're not going to say, oh my God, you look so ugly. Maybe you would. But you're going to tell me the truth of what you feel, but it's invited. So being honest has its moments, and there are ways to speak your truth. Speaking up doesn't have to mean that you take all the tough conversations. Um, yeah, so I did start a book club, Echo, with Mel Robbins' book, Let Them. And most people didn't really, they read some chapters, they didn't really read them, but I read the chapters to everybody. I wanted to go into a couple of other books that I think would be engaging and enlightening topics. So I would love to join your book club, whenever you decide to start it. Please let me know, because I love reading and I love books and I love stories. So, unless it's a book I have no desire to, unless it's, about Abe Lincoln and it's 9,000 pages and it's a biography, you know, those books are wonderful books, but they are long and dry. Um, oh, what did you say? I think gray hair is a beautiful thing. I'm embracing my age naturally. Yeah, I've been gray a really long time, but I obviously have been coloring it. And I like, I didn't know if I was ready to go gray, but times are what they are and economics are what they are. I might see myself going in that direction. So Karen says, I would love to have a book club. Um, I would have loved a book club back before I was on medication, and in person, like game night. Yeah. Yep. I would let everyone vote on which books that we would read. Absolutely. I wanted to do something similar. So great minds think alike. John, are you a book club kind of guy? I'm trying to, but have to I have box of dye. So I have to be careful because I have very sensitive skin. That's why I get it done professionally. And P.S., I don't really pamper myself that much. Occasionally I'll do my nails and my hair. That's my pampering, and I refuse to give it up right now. If I don't have to economically, I don't want to. B, welcome. Long time no see. So anyway, I love the idea of us engaging in conversations. Let's do it. I really, really want to do it, Echo. So I'm in, girl. Count me in. And, even if it's just you, me, and if Karen joins, it's just you, me, and Karen. And if John joins, it's you, me, Karen, and John. That's fine. It doesn't have to be 500 people. But I love the idea, because I love, when I read the Let Them theory, by Mel Robbins, I was like, oh my God, you guys, this makes so much sense. And I wanted to talk about it with people. So, and there are other books that I think some of them were a little bit heavier, but, and so it may not have been appropriate, but I don't know. Anyway, I digress. So back to the topic at hand. Discernment in expression. Choosing when to speak is an art. There have been a couple of channels I've been witnessing where the topic was very interesting, but I chose not to participate. And I don't regret that, because sometimes when you participate, first of all, in this setting and you're typing a comment, it can be misconstrued. Or you get my point and that just sets off a chain of events. And I've been finding that there is so much hate in the world, even though I wouldn't necessarily take it personally, I don't need it directed at me. The choice of when not to speak helps you stay anchored in what's important to you. Let's see. I have seen several interviews with Mel about that book. I haven't read it. Oh, you will love it. You will love it. Even if you go to YouTube or you go to Chat GPT and just say, give me a summary of the first 4 chapters. Give me a summary of the next 4 chapters. You'll get the gist of it without getting the whole book. I loved reading the book, but I'm telling you, it makes so much sense. And that's even with finding your voice. Let them means, we don't have control over every situation. And so at some point we have to let people do their own thing. Even if they're going to fall off the cliff, they need to fall off the cliff. And we, as participants, as witnesses, we need to let us say, it's not about me. It's not about me. It's not my choice. It's not my life. Or those people, they didn't want to invite me. If friends are going out and they didn't include you, it's not that they don't like you. Maybe they just didn't want to. Oh God, Teresa, now we have to hear about her, that she doesn't like to drive, and we're going to feel bad or whatever. So we're not going to include her at all. It's not about them, and it's not about me. Them not inviting me isn't about me. Me not wanting to go, that would be about me. And why wouldn't I want to go? So it's, yeah. I love having the choice to speak or not. Sometimes I just listen and reflect personally. Yes, I agree. B put the link in, just so you know. So feel free to grab a link. And then Karen says, it's also difficult for me to chat and listen sometimes. I don't read fast. Well, and depending on whose channel, it can go really quick. I have a small channel right now, so a couple of us, we can read, we can see the chat. I would imagine if I had 500 viewers, it would be a little bit different. 1,000 viewers, that kind of thing. You try to, you hope that you have moderators that can help pin things for you that might be on topic. So yeah, I mean, it's, but also navigating the consequences of truth telling. So there are times where if you're going to tell the truth, someone's asked you specifically, and this has happened to me, and I had to say, no, I don't like that person. It really hurt my friend who asked me if I liked their new boyfriend. And I couldn't find a way not to tell the truth. Now, what I did say was, but it's not about me. If he makes you happy, go with God. Keep your eyes open. Have a good time. If something doesn't feel right, Go away. Let it go. Don't stay because. So, telling the truth can be really difficult. Look who popped in. Mish, I was talking about you, by the way. I've been going crazy over here. LOL. I've been in the bushes because I didn't have my fingers. You're so funny. I used to feel that way, but now I'll go and do whatever I want. Waiting for others isn't my thing. Yep. I hear you. I hear you. And let's see. I want to finish the thought. Telling the truth. So, and it's also, I feel very fortunate that I have one or two people that I can absolutely say, I want you to be honest with me. I'm asking you, tell me. And that means that they're going to probably tell me something I don't want to hear. And was it this week or last week? Oh my God, I don't even remember. No, it was this week. I met with some women that are part of a group that I belong to for energy healing and practice. And I had like a come to Jesus moment where they were like, well, Teresa, you need to give yourself a break. And I was in no mood to give myself a break. I didn't want to be forgiving of myself. I didn't want to give myself grace. I wanted to call it out. It's okay to call stuff out, but you need the other side. And you need people to say, well, okay, fine. But what's your ultimate goal by beating the crap out of yourself? Like, what's the purpose? And I mean, it was a really hard, deep conversation. I was able to get my point across, but I also was able in the end to give myself grace and forgiveness and use journaling as a technique to sort of vent or vomit out all of the things that I needed to get out of me. And believe it or not, it helped. Now, should have done it yesterday because I wouldn't have given myself, a coronary thinking, oh my God, do I call 911 or don't I? Do I just lay here? And I was on the phone with a girlfriend. I said, would you just stay on the phone with me for a little while until I find out if I have to call 911? Because I was so shaky and I was so dizzy and I was so off-centered. The beauty of having 2 heart attacks, I knew I wasn't having a heart attack. But for a brief moment, I'm like, ugh. So those are the things that, I was lucky that I was having a conversation and I got to listen to somebody else and I got to calm down and I got to relax. I practiced my own breathing, right? Because often we don't breathe. And I'm great at telling somebody else, hey, take a breath. And so I had to do that myself. I had to get myself into that headspace of breathing. And I did. And then I was able to sleep beautifully. And I think I got 3.5 hours in a row without having to get up and tinkle. And I know TMI, but it really allowed me to just calm the body, calm the nerves, calm the mind, come back into, a state of rest. So let me just tap in. I see a whole bunch of comments coming through. I should probably be putting my eyeglasses on. Dun, dun, dun. Well, I wish my friends had told me the truth about my ex-boyfriend. Well, and I'd ask Echo, did you ask them to tell you the truth? Because I probably wouldn't, as a friend, I probably wouldn't have said anything either if you didn't ask me. Because I always feel like if someone doesn't ask me, they really don't want my opinion. Now, if I'm witnessing that someone's hurting you, you're going to not like me probably, but I will call you out on it and I'll call them out on it. I will be like, oh, no. I love you, my friend. He is or she is peeing all over you. and you need to wake up and smell the coffee. And if I need to drive 2.5, 3, 4 hours to get to you for support, you tell me, I will get my dogs in the car and we're on our way. That's a country song. LOL, I never feel awake these days, John. Oh. If someone asks the question, I think they deserve honesty. I agree. No, I don't think you have to be a jerk about being honest either, right? I think that if you ask me, I'm not going to go, "Are you off your freaking rocker?" I probably would ask some questions. I probably would say, "I don't see that he brings out the best in you. What about him makes you feel happy or sad or joyful or hurt?" Or I would engage you in some conversations, hoping to trigger you to your own conclusion. Because at the end of the day, you're the person that has to love them, sleep with them, marry them, date them, whatever it is. Um, did you just lose me? Oh, echo. Yes, but I don't ask B. But don't ask B if you want an honest answer. Okay. I have a habit of being honest, but add sugarcoating to it. I know people can't stand that, but it is inherently ingrained into my being. I have just always tried to find the good with it, the bad. And look, that depending on the situation, absolutely. I I would pause. I mean, I would think really deeply. And sometimes I might say, I don't have enough information to give you an honest assessment. I can tell you my gut isn't jumping for joy. But I'm willing to give you, you know, the benefit of the doubt. And if you have to ask me, do I like this person? Then maybe that's telling. And that's just an example, right? Oh, Mish, you have no idea the scariness last night. So Karen said, sometimes try to switch places and think, what would I tell my best girlfriend if she were going through this? I've been trying to do that, Karen Suki, by looking in the mirror and also high-fiving myself, just like Mel told me to. See, another one that likes my Mel. For example, I told 2 girlfriends their spouses were cheating. I lost the friends. They stayed with their cheating men. Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. Tiff, hello everyone. I've been listening and working. Oh, so glad you're here, Tiff. And work hard, hun. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Just scrolling. Echo says, yes, I was struggling and asked, but they didn't want to hurt my feelings. I ultimately made the hard decision myself and ended it. And then everyone told me afterwards. And that happens a lot. I mean, that does happen a lot. And I am truly blessed. Like I said, I have a couple of besties that will call me out and I've asked them to too. You know, I used to live in the drama. And again, that gave me something, right? It gave me a sense of being important, or it gave me a sense of, well, look at me, pay attention to me, pick me. And I always said that the book that I was going to write was I'm Nobody's Number One. And the last part of the book is going to be, but I'm my own number one. So there's a lesson through it. But I've not felt like I'm anyone's number one. And part of that is romantic love, but that's also in friendships. Other people have other besties. So I really wasn't someone's best friend. And I felt, well, what's wrong with me? And it had nothing to do with me. But it was my sense of needing to feel important. And at the end of the day, if I can impart anything to anyone, you have to be your own best friend. You have to be your own cheerleader. You have to be your own truest companion. You have to be your own beshert, your own love. And in doing so, your heart's going to be open to receive all that's going to come your way. So yes, nobody take my title of my book, but it's going to come out. I swear to goodness. Did you watch my last video, Teresa, with love? I say that because I get it. Is that the one? Hold on. Where's my girl? Was it called She is Strong, Exhausted? Is that the one? Or am I on the wrong page? Just tell me, because if that's the one that brought me to tears. But if it's a different one, then I may not have. I was telling the crew earlier that I've been sort of backing away, not sitting in front of the computer all day long every day. Have someone hold space and be there with us and let us work through it, if that makes sense. And it does. Oh, yeah, we can pause a moment. Sure. Pause. Gives me a chance to drink. And I can tell you, this is one of my last ones. Because it's sugar, Karen Suki. It's cream soda and milk. It makes a faux egg cream. But it's delicious and it's sweet. All right. Let me just... going to give everybody a chance just to pause. Okay, so we're back, I think. Are we back, Mish? Tiff says, I used to watch my ex run over women, but what can I do? They wouldn't believe me to say anything. Thank you. If this is directed at me, thank you. It's not easy. And I think, so we're all on our own journeys. We all have lessons to learn. We all have to go through the hurdles. This isn't going to be all sunshine and rainbows. So I think that you're right. Sometimes people are going to like what you have to say or listen to what you have to say or like you after you say what you say. There's a consequence to everything we do. Mish says it also depends on the relationship between friends. Such a hard thing to get in someone else's world, humanity. We are so strong, so amazing, and yet so fragile. Amen and hallelujah. I'm preaching. What have I put out there that keeps attracting this misery? So, yeah, I think that we do. And that's a mindset that I think we have to work through as individuals. I don't want to feel that way anymore. I don't want to think that way anymore. For a long time, I thought God was punishing me. And if I believe God's punishing me, then he is not the God of love. And I choose to believe God is love. And so I don't believe I'm being punished. I believe there are lessons I have to learn in order to become the person I need to become. And it's a journey. And I'm going to trip over myself. And again, finding your voice, right? Being in your truth. It's defining what is your truth. And if you've had everybody else telling you different versions, or you're grabbing from this shelf and you're grabbing from that shelf and you're grabbing from the other shelf for, well, what's my truth? maybe it's their truths and I can, put it in a pot and make a stew out of it and come up with something. Yeah, it's like, do I even like you? And it comes down to, and it's okay to let people go. And that's the other thing Mel Robbins said. You don't have to hold on to everybody. Sometimes they're just meant to move on. You are meant to move on. There's no hard feelings. It doesn't mean there's hate and anger. They're just not jiving with you anymore. And that's okay. And this is, the gospel according to this Teresa. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. And breathe. I love strawberry milk and use it for my cereal. Oh, girl. Uh-oh, somebody had salted coffee. Hold on. Salted caramel toffee iced coffee was just brought to me by the Hubster. Yeah, fasting tomorrow is not going to be easy. I was about to project how I was going to be tomorrow, and I'm not going to do that. Yes, Echo. Echo had to learn to be her own best friend in order to stop looking for someone to pick me. Absolutely. And now look, right? People are picking you. They are going to your channel. You're going to attract all sorts of different people for different topics. And I think that's what makes this kind of a community amazing. And I personally have to learn, well, if this person didn't come to my show, it's not really about me. It's the topic didn't work for them, or they didn't have time, or I don't need an explanation. I'm going to do this regardless if there's me talking to me or talking to all of you. You know what I mean? So but that's a hard lesson to learn. And one of the things, Echo, for me, being in my 60s now, I kind of had permission to say, and I don't know if this is because we're becoming seniors and we're moving into a new genre of wisdom. When I was 30, it was kind of important. When I was 40, it was important. Even when I was 50, it was kind of important. And then I had my life-changing event. And I'm like, none of that matters at the end of the day. The people that choose to be in my life have already decided they want to be in my life. And the people I've chosen to allow to stay in my life that I've picked, if it's one person, I'm one person richer. So I agree with you 100%. We're talking coffee. I'm going to skip by. Oh, pecan. Misha, I'm in a cold brew caramel pecan iced coffee kick now. My God, you guys are very, what's the word? Adventurous with your coffees. And then let's see. No, I bet you were the enemy for a long time until they realized themselves too, Tiff. Oh, we're back to that. Yeah. And, Italian sweet cream. Oh, I'm just going to think positive. If you're taking coffee orders, John says, I'll have a large iced latte with an extra shot of espresso. Oh, John, if I had that, forget it. I would be bouncing. Elizabeth, welcome. Thank you for joining. So Italian sweet cream cold brew, let me just say this. I could just drink the Italian sweet cream and screw the coffee. All right, let me just scroll. See if I don't want to miss anybody. And guys, if I've missed anyone, please let me know. But I apologize. You can't hear? It's got to be you. Turn up your volume. Let's see. Do. What is this? Oh, follow intuitive me. Yep. And put echoes up there for me too, and Mish's and John's. Karen, do you have a channel? I don't even know if you do. Should I know that? Elizabeth, thank you for the healing, the inner child meditation information. It is really helping so much. Ooh, that's nice. I love that, you guys. Incarnacial Richard, hiding in the bushes for a bit, had to grab a snack. Now back. Well, I'm glad you came out of the bushes to hang out with us. So nice to see you. Thank you for being here. And, we've been talking about finding our voice. And so, one of the things that I said early on in this discussion before you gentlemen arrived is I don't know how men feel, so I can't speak to you guys. But standing in your truth and in your power is as relevant, I believe, for men as it is for women. And there has to come a delicacy with truth telling. But it also means that if you're going to stand in your truth and you're going to own your truth, be educated about your truth. Don't tell a woman that she probably should get over something before she's ready to get over it. Or that more exercising will help thinner when she's in menopause, because there's a whole new theme on that. And I did speak to my friend Lori, who is going to come on my channel probably next month, maybe November. Her calendar is off the charts busy, but I really can't wait for her to get on. And I'm going to ask all of you to promote her to join my channel so that you guys can. It's going to be very, very informative. My sister turned 70 today. Blows my mind. Yeah, and you know what I think? Oh, thank you, Mish. I think that, as we age, wow, the darkness here, the sun's starting to turn and set. It's getting darker earlier. As much as I love fall, that's the one thing I don't like about fall. As we age, it's just a miracle we got to another year. Really and truly. At this point in my life, if I make it to 63, hell's bells, I'm celebrating. And I have 2 birthdays because I celebrate the day that I came back to life in January, and then I celebrate my birthday. So, I don't mind celebrating. Let's see. Oh, you're having coffee now too, Elizabeth? Wow. And like I said, if I have coffee, I have a hard enough time sleeping. So, my son brought me a pumpkin spice donut today. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be really, really hard doing this fasting to jumpstart my metabolism. Yeah, I've been finding, especially because I like sweetener in my coffee, if I have more than one, then my sugars are going to be higher. And then I'm going to crave more sugars throughout the day. If I can stick to 1 cup of coffee with my hazelnut creamer or my Italian sweet cream, and when they had it, Kahlua, which they took away, had I known they were going to take it away, I would have bought a whole bunch and frozen it. But it's watching the sugars and getting more active. I got to shake my groove thing. Okay. You guys are all talking about. I'm going to skip the coffee now. Dum, 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 dum. Let's see. Coming to a channel near you. Oh, so John, have you started new? I haven't seen you pop up with new stuff yet, but I've seen you on other channels. Okay. All right. Awesome. Awesome. And Tiff, excellent. I'm going to go past this. Okay. LOL menopause. Put the weight on me. I've lost most of it now, but wow. Yeah. So I would say that women's bodies change, but so do men's. And all of us need to just have a new respect for our temples because they are our Ferraris. And if we don't change the oil regularly and we don't swap out the tires and we don't check under the hood, we're all going to put across the finish line. And I want to fly across the shroom. Thank you for the sound effects, Teresa. And let's see, at Karen Suki, oh my God, I go back to your channel and see one of my favorite things ever. Semantics? Y'all sub. Okay. All right. Okay. Awesome. Let's share the love, people. Share the love. I'm all about it. Okay. I'm just looking, guys. I'm just trying to catch up. Yes, I love seeing the love in this chat. Can I just tell you that it means so much to me? And I think, as we kind of bring this to a close, this topic, standing into your truth, and I'm sure I'm going to bring up finding your voice again, but, speaking the truth means shedding layers of shame or guilt that's tied to our past. It's accepting the truth is profound, and it's a profound act of self-respect. I'm willing to honor my journey no matter where it's led me. And this acceptance is not just a personal victory, it's a form of emotional healing that can transform how we perceive ourselves. Mental health thrives on self acceptance. By facing and speaking your truth, you begin to release the hold that shame may have had over you. Instead of hiding from certain aspects of your story, you give them light, seeing them not as flaws, but as integral parts of your past. I love that. I love that the doctor says this, and creating empowering spaces to be heard. When it comes to expressing your truth, the environment matters. Amen to YouTube for us to have our channels. Whether it's finding a group of supportive friends, joining a community, or creating your own safe space, having a place where you feel encouraged to be fully authentic is invaluable. In these spaces, we are able to express ourselves without fear of judgment, letting our own truth be heard and respected. Amen and hallelujah. And that to me is what I think is the most important piece. And let me just scroll through. Richard in Carnosoul Platinum Room Plus follower here. Love and support. Suggest resources when I am aware of some, but I'm so aware of how much I do not know, ESP, with respect to what so many are going through. And I think that's fair and that's beautiful, because I think most of us don't know what each of us is going through. We don't even know what our communities are going through half the time. And I think that's getting educated on it is incumbent upon us to do that. Let's see. My temple is all jacked up. I'm back to frozen shoulder. Oh no. I have abused my old bod, but it was fun, most of it. Yeah, I can't say that, but all right. Let's see. I just want to be able to sum this up. Karen says, yes, at the more intuitive me, it is incredible to see the geometry as the frequency rises and rises and watch it become more and more complicated. to anyone who wants to check out Meet. Hop in when the outro plays. Oh, all right. I may need a bathroom break, but okay. I'm just going to go through. I think we're down to the bottom. I've never done it before, Misha, but I'm going to try to join you. Okay, no cameras are necessary. Or you could be Strawberry or a dinosaur. So I am going to, let me just get to my YouTube where I can click the links, because you can't click it in StreamYard. So let me just get there first before I sign us all off. And while I'm getting there, I just want to thank you all for participating. Pretty please hit the like, subscribe button. And all right, so let me go here to this. So I'll get ready to join the Google Meet. Hold on. And let me go back to me and say, as always, I send you guys with love, light, and healing, with joy, with compassion, with wisdom, sprinkled with laughter and giggles. And the puppies are so intuitive and they're ready to call it a night. Love to you all.
I'm like an ice skater dancing out for the first time on the form solid ice. No more fears, no sorrows, because I love the coming tomorrows. This life has barely begun, but now I know what I want to do. I know what I want to be, reborn. Finally feeling I am fulfilling my destiny, with a heart filled of gratefulness, happiness, joy, overflowing of kindness and love. Oh, so much love. I feel like love is the supportive pillar